Okay, so this is great, and we've looked at different ways of how PCA can be looked at in the broad sense, but how can PCA be viewed in genomics? So specifically, what kinds of phenomena or things can PCA pull out in genomic data? So one example is ancestry. So in this kind of plot here, we took the genomic data from the 1000 Genomes project and we put it through PCA. And what you'll see here is that the first PCA along this horizontal axis separates people of African ancestry from people of other ancestries, while the second PC separates out people of Asian ancestry from other ancestries. And another thing that PCA can pull out is actually not related to biology, but more technical and kind of noise and artifacts. So you can pull out things like batch effects. And so in this example here, we have the first and second PC, and we see that the points are actually separating out by these GSE numbers. And these GSE numbers are just different studies. So these are all the same samples coming from the same source, but different studies. And it separates from studies. So you can kind of use it as a QC measure in that sense. And a third kind of interesting and famous kind of use of PCA is that it can actually pull out geography from genomic data. So this is a famous plot from John Novembre's lab. And what he did here is that he took the genetic data from many individuals in Europe, and he ran a PCA, and through some rotation and some small tweaks here and there, you can get it to kind of mirror a map of Europe. So what are some uses of PCA in genomic data? So all these examples so far we've seen are examples of visualization, where we use just the first two PCs to kind of make a flat kind of XY plane that we can look at. But there are other examples. So earlier we mentioned that we can use it for preprocessing. So some examples of preprocessing in genomics are things like genome-wide association studies. So you may want to use principal components to aid your genome-wide association study. You may also want to use it before doing some downstream analysis, such as clustering or classification.